Welcome back. The heating got down a little bit, but not much. But the air is very cold. It's still okay. Now it's down close to 25. It was close to 35. So let's close again and try to make final video for now about the old jet airliners. Then I will make some French fries. Put the heating on, but before just look the old jet airliners. I did like to look back in time to the World War II and the history of the jet engines and all the old fighter jets, all the first generation fighter jets, and the invention of the jet engines in the end of the World War II. So I did, because long time, maybe more than 10 years before the first jet airliners, we had this first generations fighter jets, like in Nazi Germany in 1943. So before the DC-8 and the Boeing 707 and the Caravelle in 1958 and 59. More than 10 years ago we had 20,000 other fighter jets. So I did like to do that, but that took a long time, so not really look. You're not really look at airliner yet. But let's do it now. I need a little cola. Or then I have to do it later. But in the 1950s and 60s, we still have this large piston, this propel, like the DC-66 and the Lockheed Constellations. We have this all kind of old style propel pistons, passengers, airliners. But do not look at all this now, because you already did. But we can do it very fast. We can do it very fast. I need to move all my fighter jets, all my old. Need to move it. But we can do it very fast. We can take a quick look again, everything, and then do the airliners. So that's an ultralight aircraft I maybe like to buy, but I need a pilot license. Ultralight. You can put floats. That's normally have a 50 horsepower engine. So that's some of the cheapest you can fly. You can have skis. But I need a pilot license. That's list of aircraft engines, but that's mostly propel pistons. But maybe that's everything. But that's 1,000 different kind of engines. We have to look aviation, World War One. that did develop many, even these engines are more than 100 years old. They can still running. Some of this engine are 100 years old. And between World War One and Two, they develop the aircraft. Between the close cockpit, they put the close cockpit, and the early passengers aircrafts in the 20s. There's a list of all kind of old aircraft. There's many hundred of different aircraft. World War One. Bombers, big bombers. Some of these bombers, this 1915. Some of this they used to transport passengers. So they built a lot of many hundred of different kind of aircraft. This aircraft is 110 years old. So they're very old. So not overall this because that's made in 1914. So they made many hundreds of engines too. We have to look at this later. That's World War One. And World War Two, they made tens of thousands of aircraft and super large engines. All metal aircraft, tens of thousands of aircraft and all kind of large engines. And they start inventing the jet engine. So we have to look all this, but that will take many weeks to look to read it. All these famous fighters, the P-51 Mustangs, they have some super large, but even the early jets, they was much faster. The jet fly like 600 kilometer speed. And this Messerschmitt did fly like 900. This German Nazi Messerschmitt did fly a lot faster than this one. So we need to look at this, all these many different aircrafts from World War II. Hawker Hunter. Many they're still flying because many like to own a Spitfire, so they're still flying. Let's list up long list many hundred of aircraft. World War One, World War Two. That's jet aircraft. That's this German Nazi jet fighter. That's Korea War. They have all this first generation fighters. So they built like more than 20,000 all kind of metal first generation fighters. They built it after 1945 to like 1955. They built more than 20,000 all kind of different aircrafts. That's the Korea War. Then the Vietnam War, weapons with Vietnam War, and then we have the. But we do it fast. I have this passengers that built this in Second World War. This long range bombers and metals. Some have even a pressure cabin. Huge piston engines, long range. B-70. I have this even larger, this one. That's one dropping a nuclear bomb that's large like a modern airliner. So they just need to put some large jet engine below the wings. So they just need to remove this engine and put jet engine, but they did not have this good jet engines. They did need to invent it. So then start all this, that's 2-engine DC-3s. But that's like before World War II. But they was still flying this famous DC-6, like in the 60s, 50s and 60s. That's 65, that's 1 year before I'm born. So they was still flying. That's 66, I'm born in 66. They were still flying in the 60s. Then we got all the DC-9 in 65. And 58 we got the Boeing 707 and the DC-8 and all this. So, but after some years they did stop have this famous aircraft like this flying in the 50s and 60s. Even in the 70s, I think. Strato cruiser and this famous so they make before this is before the first jet airliners. They have six propels, flying 48. So that's even long time before the Caravelle in 59. That's this large Lockheed constellations and super constellations. So there are some are still flying. So they was flying in the 50s and 60s. So let's look my, we need to move all these jet fighters. This is the world first jet fighter in 39. We have this, that's before World War I, but this one have no weapon, it's just a test aircraft. And that's fly 1940. But that's a Nazi Germany. That's a British test aircraft, no weapons. This power jets, W1 or 2 engines. That's the first American, United States, but it had a weapon, it had some cannons. Have this a version of this power jets W1. They made this. They did use this jet engine from power jets in United Kingdom. That's Nazi Germany. 43 built 1,400. They built a level this jumbo, Junkers jumbo. That's another Nazi Germany small jet bomber. They built many of this. They built 200. That's the first British jet fighter. So they put just in the end of the war in 44. So they built 20,000 of this kind of aircraft. So this is the first United States, the P-80, flying 45 just after World War II. and it developed to T-33, so very fast it developed, some super fast. They built many thousand of this. They have in like 10,000 of this. It flying 49 long time before. So Ellison J, that's some engine, maybe I forgot to move it. That's Russia, Soviet Union, MiG-15 and 70. The Soviet Union made tens of thousands of jets. They make 10,000 of this from 52. So they make tens of thousands. That's a Swedish Saab jets. Lockheed makes 6,500. That's a very high number. They made the last one in 59. That same year, the Caravelle. And the Boeing 707 was 58. So they had that's many jets before the jet airliners. This weird looking fighter, Swedish fighter. But they have this 6 jet engines. Stratojet. Flight 47. 2,000, that's crazy high number. Probably have how fast? 7,000, 3,000 kilometers, 40,000 feet. But this jet engines, they were not very powerful in these old days. So that's United Kingdom. I don't know if it's a bomber, I don't know what it is. Medium bomber. United States F-94, so they make 800, 1950. Even this Super Sabre, that's long time before the first jet airliners. 53. So they made 2,000 to 300. So they make like 20,000 of this. This one in 55 did fly 52. Long time before DC-8 and Boeing 707. So we have many thousand jet aircraft before the jet airliners. They built many thousand. Even this starfighter is before. This starfighter is before the early. Fly 54 and 58 is Boeing 707 and DC-9. The Caravelle is 59, so that's many years before. So, but let's go through the engines. If I can find it. But I have to read all jet engines. But I need many days and weeks to do it. So that's they're making a jet in Pratt & Whitney. General Electric makes jet engines, Rolls-Royce, Safran is France. CFM is a France American. G Aerospace and Safran Aircraft Engines. Safran, we need to move Safran Aircraft Engines. So that's the first in 37 Nazi Germany. First jet engine, Heinkel, his 1 and his 3. This his 3 one, that's the world first jet fighters. Built by him and German Heinkel Hertz. That's this Nazi Germany Junker Jumo. They use this to this Messerschmitt fighter jet. Nazi Germany, this bomber. But the Nazi Germany, they lost the war. That's Junkers. And that's Power Jets W1. That's the first British turbojet made by Frank Whittle. He made a company called Power Jets. That's Frank, and that's his company. Make W1 and W2. That's W2. But the United Kingdom government did buy his company and put it there. And the United States did buy the patents, the right to use the patents, like 20 years. This Power Jets W1 engines and 2. The United States government did buy the rights to the patents 20 years. Then they did start to make own on this W2. They start to make own brand. That's a British United Kingdom. No, that's the Americans. United States start to build the engine built on the W1 and 2. They made jet engines like this for the first, this P80. This first American P80. And they made this engine J31 to the this P59, and they make this Allison, that's to the P80 and P33. But they did it very fast because I think they made many new versions every year. Like every few months they made a new upgrade. So they make many hundred of different kind of jet engines. That's at the Havilland Ghost. Frank Helford's. This one is on the Comet 1. They have the Comet 1, the world first passengers jet airliner. It was this engine. And Avon is on the Comet 234 and the Caravelle. And then they're just getting more bigger and bigger and bigger very fast and more powerful. So even around 1955 they have some super large. This is 1950. So they have some super large engine before, like 1955. This is 58. So before 1960 they had some crazy big jet engines. This is from 55 on the Lockheed Starfighter. That's a very powerful jet engine. That's 58. That's on the Boeing 707. That's 1960. So they have some super large ancient DC-9. Boeing 727, they're still flying. '66, the jumbo jet 767 DC-10, Airbus 310. So they're just getting a bigger. That's 69. That's 71. They have some crazy big, very large jet engines. Oh, the C5 Galaxy. Need to open this. That's very famous aircraft transport. We need to open that bus. 58. We need to move it to my aircrafts. I don't know where to put it. Dragon 55. Let's put it there. It's not 55. That was '68. So but I have to look at this later. 68. We can put it there. So that was 71. That's 74. That's very famous jet engines. Fly on the Airbus 320, Boeing 737 Classic, and the next generations. And the late McDonnell Douglas, the latest model DC-11/70. That's the 80s, but that's F-16. And now we're year 2025. But now it must takes like maybe 10 years. That's only like one time every 10 years they make a new engine. Because it costs many billions of dollars. That's 93. And that's still they're still running. That's 30 years ago. 2004, but that's Airbus. (2008). That's this France, Russia. Power jets. They took this power jet's name from this power jets W1. They took the name.